Hi friends, it's Deanna Willison with Our Blooming Catholic Life, and we're going back in time just a little bit with this Lectio Divina. We did Lectio Divina on Matthew chapter 19 and 20 because chapter 19, the verse from there, was featured in, we think, in the most primitive rule of the Franciscan order. So we wanted to have it in context, so we went and did all of Matthew 19, and it was such a cliffhanger we couldn't help but doing 20. Well, it turns out the next passage was taken from Matthew 16. So now that we've done 19 and 20 and Jesus was just on the verge of entering his passion, we're going to go back a little bit. We're going to go back even before on 17 is the transfiguration. So we're even going before the transfiguration. We are going to chapter 16. And let's see what God has for us in there. Let's grab our prayer journal. Remember, in the back, we have all of our prayers. Let's go ahead and give that a try. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Sume glorioso Deus illumina tenebras cordis mehi, et da mihi fidem rectum, spem seritatem et caritatem perfectum, Domini ut facium tuum sanctum, et verax mandatum. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Today we're just going to look at chapter 16, verses 1 through 4. 1 through 4. Okay. 4. And there's some red print in here, so Jesus is going to literally be speaking directly. Okay, maybe not literally, directly to us. He's going to be speaking to somebody, though. Let's see what he has to say. And there came to him the Pharisees and Sadducees tempting, and they asked him to show them a sign from heaven. But he answers and said to them, When it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, today there will be a storm, for the sky is red and lowering. You know then how to discern the face of the sky, and can you not know the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and a sign shall not be given it, but the sign of Jonas the prophet. And he left them and went away. Oh my. Let's try that again. And there came to him the Pharisees and Sadducees tempting, and they asked him to show them a sign from heaven. But he answers and said to them, When it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, today there will be a storm, for the sky is red and lowering. You know then how to discern the face of the sky, and can you not know the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and a sign shall not be given it, but the sign of Jonas the prophet. And he went away. Oh my. Now, there are no notes in here, but there are a number of other passages. And the first one here says, look at Mark 8:11. So it must be the same exact story if it's giving us another gospel. Mark 8:11. Let's see what that is. Mark 8:11. And the Pharisees came forth and began to question him, asking him a sign from heaven, tempting him. And sighing deeply in spirit, he saith, And why does this generation seek a sign? Amen, I say to you, a sign shall not be given to this generation. And leaving them, he went again into the ship and passed over to the other side of the water. Sighing deeply. Really, guys? Interesting. Let's see if there's another one. We also get P, Luke 12:54. Luke. So Luke has a piece of this. 12. Luke 12. Oh my goodness. Here we are. Luke 12. What did it say? It did say 54. Okay. And he said also to the multitudes, When you see a cloud rising from the west, presently you say, A shower is coming, and so it happeneth. And when you see the south wind blow, you say, There will be heat, and it cometh to pass. You hypocrites, you know how to discern the face of heaven and the earth, but how is it that you do not discern this time? And why even of yourselves do you not judge that which is just? And when thou goest with thy adversary to the prince, whilst thou art in the way, endeavor to be delivered from him, lest perhaps he draw thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the exactor, and the exactor cast thee into prison. I say to thee, thou shalt not go out thence until thou pay the very last mite. Well, that's a lot more than either of the other two have. And here, after this, the Lord's going to go on about penance. I don't know when he gets in the ship. So Luke has him doing a lot more things before he goes and get into the ship. And let's see, do we also have note Q? We do. We just barely have note Q, which is Matthew 12. We're going back to Matthew 12. Matthew 12:39. So there must have been something said before. Okay. Who answering them said, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh a sign, and a sign shall not be given it, but the sign of Jonas the prophet. Oh, they said this before. Interesting. For as Jonas was... Oh, it's going to explain this to us. Great. I don't even have to look up the Jonas thing. For as Jonas was in the whale's belly 3 days and 3 nights, so shall the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, because they did penance at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas here. The queen of the south shall rise in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, because she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, a greater than Solomon here. And when an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And coming, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then he goeth and taketh with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And at the last state of the man is made worse than the first. So shall it be also to this wicked generation. And as he was speaking to the multitudes, behold, his brother and his brethren stood about, seeking to speak with him. Interesting. So he just said this again. They want to see a sign. I guess they're just going to keep repeating this. We want to see a sign. So I guess he got a little exasperated. He already explained, gave them the link. He compared them to Nineveh, which needed Jonas to go and save it. So he already compared them to that. So we know about the wicked and adulterous generation. And so they gave the sign. And what is the sign of Jonah the prophet? That he will be buried for 3 days. He will disappear, go inside, not the bowels of a whale, but inside the bowels of the earth for 3 days, 3 nights. That's in here. Very interesting. So he had given them that teaching already. You know, I can be quite honest with you. I never saw that. I never heard that before. So I'm going to take some time to think about that. So he told them that a decent bit earlier there. We're going to read this one more time, and then we'll come back and visit this on Wednesday, friends. And there came to him the Pharisees and Sadducees tempting, and they asked him to show them a sign from heaven. But he answered and said to them, when it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, today there will be a storm, for the sky is red and lowering. You know then how to discern the face of the sky. And can you not know the sign of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and a sign shall not be given it, but the sign of Jonas the prophet. And he left them and went away. Friends, may God bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the good Lord bless you. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.